You ever notice how some folks are just naturally good at things most people struggle with? Take lefties, for example. In a world designed for right-handers, they adapt and overcome. Turns out that knack for doing things differently can be a real game changer, especially when the stakes are high. That brings us to Ehud. He's one of those Bible heroes you might have missed. See, Ehud wasn't a king or a prophet. He wasn't a warrior in the traditional sense. He was a left-handed Israelite chosen by God for a most unexpected mission. Now, back in those days, Israel was under the thumb of the Moabites, a powerful and ruthless enemy. Things were tough. The Israelites were desperate for a hero, but they probably didn't expect someone like Ehud. Ehud's story is a reminder that God doesn't always choose the obvious hero. Sometimes it's the ordinary folks, the ones with hidden talents and a willingness to step up, who end up making all the difference. And sometimes, those talents are as simple as being left-handed in a right-handed world. Imagine living under the rule of a king who treats you more like a workhorse than a human being. That was life for the Israelites under King Eglon of Moab. This guy was bad news. He was cruel, he was greedy, and he made sure the Israelites knew who was boss. For 18 long years they suffered. They had to pay crippling taxes, their land was plundered, and their spirits were broken. Hope was in short supply. They cried out to God, begging for deliverance. The Israelites needed a miracle. They needed someone to stand up and fight for them. Little did they know, their deliverer was about to reveal himself, and he carried his advantage hidden in plain sight. Now it was time for the annual tribute. This wasn't a friendly exchange of gifts. This was extortion, plain and simple. The Israelites had to hand over a mountain of their hard-earned goods to King Eglon, just to keep him off their backs for a little while longer. This year, Ehud was chosen to deliver the tribute. Now, Ehud wasn't just any other Israelite, he was a clever guy, resourceful and observant. He'd been watching, studying King Eglon, looking for a weakness, an opportunity. And he found it. You see, Eglon was a large man, fond of his comforts. He had this private chamber, a cool secluded room where he went to escape the heat of the day. Ehud saw a chance, a dangerous, daring chance to strike at the heart of the Moabite oppression. He knew the risks. This wasn't just about strength, it was about strategy, about using his unique advantage to outsmart a powerful enemy. This tribute mission was going to be anything but routine. The King and the Dagger. The day of the tribute arrived. Ehud, with the weight of his people on his shoulders, stood before King Eglon. He presented the tribute, careful not to betray his true intentions. He played his part perfectly, a loyal subject delivering his dues. But beneath his cloak, hidden on his left thigh, lay a double-edged dagger, a tool of liberation disguised as a tool of tribute. Ehud waited for the right moment, his heart pounding in his chest. "I have a secret message for you, Your Majesty," Ehud said, his voice steady. Eglon, intrigued, dismissed his attendants. When they were alone, Ehud made his move. With a swift, unexpected motion, he drew the dagger and plunged it deep into the king's belly. The king's eyes bulged. He gasped for air, his hands clutching at the hilt of the dagger protruding from his gut. The deed was done. Freedom's dawn. Ehud wasted no time. He slipped out of the chamber, locking the doors behind him. He made his escape while Eglon's servants, assuming their master was taking his afternoon repose, remained none the wiser. Ehud rallied the Israelites. "The Lord has given your enemies into your hand," he declared. Inspired by his daring act, the Israelites rose up. They caught the Moabites off guard, confused and leaderless. The Israelites, empowered by their newfound courage and God's favor, drove the Moabites back across the Jordan River, freeing themselves from oppression. Their land was theirs once more. Ehud's left hand, the hand that had once set him apart, became the hand that brought deliverance. His story became a testament to the power of courage, strategy, and the belief that God can use anyone, even a left-handed nobody, to accomplish extraordinary things.